we're there. So please cast your vote. All right, close the roll. That bill reports. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. See you next year.
Yeah, like so many times. Any member of subcommittee 3, Rich, do you mind? Where were we? He let you go. All right, Senator Sturgeon's here. Senator, we were trying to figure out who wants your bill and what it might do and the crazy things it might do that you haven't thought about that it might do. So,
and I appreciate the committee taking the time to work through it, and not meant to be a bar crawl bill. I'm certainly happy to exclude that as being used as that possibility. So I think there are some line amendments to fix that problem.
All right, let's hear the amendments first.
Mr. Chairman, the line amendments are all on page 2 of the bill. The first amendment is on line 92 after fee for the insert food and. The second amendment is on line 93 after tour insert and. Also on line 93 after 205 to Romanet I strike a fee for any food offered as part of the tour and 3 in parentheses. And finally on line 94 after collected for the insert food and.
Delegate Alvo.
Read that out loud now to see what it says.
Okay, certainly. The new language would be 18. Any tour company guiding individuals for compensation on a walking tour to one or more establishments licensed to sell alcoholic beverages at retail for on-premises consumption to collect as one fee from tour participants. 1, the licensee's fee for the food and alcoholic beverages served as part of the tour, and 2, a fee for the walking tour. Two, a fee for the walking tour service. The tour company shall remit to the licensee any fee collected for the food and alcoholic beverages served as part of the tour.
Can I ask who's trying to do that? I sort of heard earlier. What are they trying to do?
So there is a business here in the Richmond area that will set up these restaurant tastings in Shacobam, for instance, where you can go from restaurant to restaurant. You can try sampling of their food, and presently you would have to purchase alcohol separately at these restaurants along the tour. What the guide service seeks to offer is that you purchase the one ticket, and that ticket allows you to go to each restaurant and sample not just the food but also alcohol.
Mr. Chairman, sure.
In the restaurant.
So the problem is with the amendment is it sort of leaves open that, yeah, there might be some food somewhere, like you walk into one of these 10 places where you're going to visit on this bar crawl, which it still is, I think, and somebody's going to have some food there for you, and yeah, they're going to charge you an extra $1 for that one place that's going to have food halfway through your tour. So I think if it's focused on the food, we need to make it more thoroughly, that's where you're getting at, right? More thoroughly focused on that this is a tour where food will be offered at every single stop on the tour, and you're going to be doing a food tasting at every single stop on the tour. And oh, by the way, they will make you, if you want alcoholic beverages while you're doing this food tour where you're going to eat at every one of these places, that you'll have to pay for that separately. Maria, I think is what we're trying to get at, more than just throwing in food as this big notion. And again, this is why I asked what you're trying to do, because I certainly want to help you try and do that. I think that's not unreasonable. That's certainly a neat thing, but I really don't want to open it up for like, dude, meet us at the corner at 7 o'clock, and every 15 minutes we're going to be departing to get you drunk, and you will have some food on the way. Like,
sure.
Okay.
Sure. And I guess to the extent we already allow folks to do winery tours or brewery tours, I guess my thought would be is the way that this is now amended, by adding that food aspect of it, perhaps makes it more palatable.
It's more palatable. We just think, I think we're suggesting that the language should more focus on the food aspect of the business model you're trying to support here. Is there any other way to do that, Maria? I know we're just doing this on the fly. Why don't you think about that, and let me recognize first Delegate Lemunyan. Delegate Lemunyan, did you have something?
I'm just, in the new paragraph 18 where we're referring to walking tours, is there any way that could be construed for someone to think that they could walk down the street with a drink in their hand?
If it's a lifestyle center. I think we've already passed that.
Shall I try again?
I know. So, Senator, I recognize Delegate Lemunyan who had I realized you were trying to put it all together. He had a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
The question is, could a walking tour be construed as allowing someone to go from place to place, walking down the street outside with a drink in their hand?
Mr. Chairman, Delegate Lemunyan, I would say that law obviously still requires, or still prohibits the consumption of alcohol outside, and if I may refer to Mr. Lisk to perhaps better answer your question.
Yeah, the language would not otherwise change the current law that says that no alcohol can be consumed in a public place unless there is an ABC license for the public place. This is not an ABC retail license, it's a permit, and the permit only allows for the collection of the monies by the tour operator, so it would not allow or make legal the consumption of alcohol in public places walking down the street.
Thank you.
Delegate Peace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm not on the subcommittee, so this may not be a relevant question, but I'll ask. There's been a lot of conversation about the ratios. Would this permit affect that? How would they apportion what was food and what was alcohol in terms of the sale of this ticket as a product?
The tour operator would enter into an agreement with each licensed retail establishment for what monies it was paying for that retail establishment for both food and alcohol. The restaurant then would have to apportion those dollars toward whatever it charges for food, whatever it charges for alcohol. And to the extent that these tours took place after 9 o'clock at night, there couldn't be any discounting of the price for alcohol. So the restaurant would just report it in its MBAR report each year to the ABC. Total alcohol sales would include whatever revenue they received, apportioned to the alcohol, and on the food side, the same.
So, Mr. Chairman, to follow this, the sale of ticket price is not necessarily, does not bear on what you just described, or they can essentially tease out the food.
Correct. The tour operator might have let's say a $65 tour price, and it would be up to the operator would allocate $15, some amount as its revenue, and then pay out as expenses to one or more restaurants that are part of the tour.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one more stab at it real quick. It's going to be real progress.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, on line 90, insert before walking tour, culinary walking tour, and then at the end, at line 95, you've added a new sentence. Food shall be available at each such establishment on the tour. Because you've already said establishments licensed to sell alcoholic beverages.
Now, is the purpose for them to go and purposefully have food at each place?
Yes.
Okay, so did you say available, Maria?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
I mean, rather than available, like, let's make it that it's include, no,
Food
served.
shall be, okay, food shall be served at each such establishment on the tour.
Is that what they do? Okay. Again, I'm not trying to hurt it, I'm just trying to make it sound more like what you're trying to do without creating some weird other thing. Could you do it all over again?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. Do you want me to read the whole thing? How it would look?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. 18, any tour company guiding individuals for compensation on a culinary walking tour to one or more establishments licensed to sell alcoholic beverages at retail for on-premises consumption to collect as one fee from tour participants. I mean, it would all read the same, and then you'd add a sentence that said, food shall be served at each such establishment on the tour.
Okay,
Maybe substitute, Mr. Chairman.
yeah. Does anybody want to move those amendments? All right, Delegate Minshew.
It's quick, Mr. Chairman. Is the term culinary walking tour, it's not a defined term, we know it when we see it, but this would be something more than you go to place X, they've got potato chips, you go to place Y, they got pretzels. Would that qualify as a culinary walking tour?
See how it happens?
It is not a defined term, Mr. Chairman, you're right.
Mr. Chairman, that's my concern. I mean, if we're talking French food at one place, Italian food the next, I can get that, but because it's not really defined, you can basically make it de minimis food, pistachio nuts in one place, potato chips another, and it basically becomes a pub crawl.
All right, so somewhere in here, couldn't you say, designed to provide a representative sampling of the menu of such establishment or something like that too?
Mr. Chairman, to make it sort of fit in, how about this, on that last sentence, because ABC, we talk about food cooked or prepared on the premises. So food cooked or prepared on the premises shall be served at each such establishment. So then that's not chips.
He's talking about down there, so. Delegate Minshew, did you hear what council said? Let me have her do that again.
You would insert in the last sentence at the end of line 95, food cooked or prepared on the premises shall be served at each such establishment.
No pun intended, Mr. Chairman, but you're getting warmer.
That is more correct. Very deep. All right. So, does anybody have any question about what is floating around as a proposed bigger amendment, Delegate Bullabo?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hate to throw a wrench into it, maybe I ought not to. I guess my problem is the prepared on the premises, because I can imagine that you might have a tour that involves multiple museums in a historic district, candlelight tour where you go from one to another, and you'd have an alcoholic beverage, a port, or something like that.
I think that's what this bill does.
Okay,
So that's a different, somebody else's future bill that they're gonna come in here with.
Okay, in that case, the food would be there, it wouldn't be prepared on site, it would be catered.
So that'd be a different type of walking tour. Okay, is there a motion that we adopt all these amendments that council just read to us?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, those amendments are adopted. Anything further?
No, sir.
Is there a motion on the bill? And it'll be cleaned up and it'll be a substitute and we'll make sure it looks right, and if it's not, we'll fix it on the floor or something, okay? Or in conference. Is there a motion? Okay, great, thank you. Any further discussion on the substitute as amended? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Close the roll. All right, that bill reports. Thank you, Senator. I'm sorry to make you come all the way back here, but
Thank you so much.
I don't think we could have done it without you being here, so thank you. Delegate Knight, anything?
I believe that's it on that subcommittee.
Okay, thank you very much. Delegate Hodges, did you have anything else?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we had removed 2 bills from the lot. The first bill was for an extension, it's already been explained, Mr. Chairman, and That is Senate Bill 916, and that was reported 5-0 with one abstention for the session.
Yeah, now so moved.
This
All
was,
right. Is there any discussion or questions on Senate Bill 916? The motion is to report. Please cast your vote. Close the roll. That bill reports. Delegate Hopkins.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. The second bill removed from the block was Senate Bill 1412, Delegate Sitterlim, which creates a new classification of paid leave for a state employee who adopts an infant. The motion was to report and to refer to appropriation 6-0, and I so moved.
Any further discussion? The motion is to report and refer Senate Bill 1412. Please cast your vote. Close the roll. All right. Reported and referred. Delegate Hodges.
And that completes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a couple more, 3 more bills remaining. I'm sorry to all the senators who had to wait. Yeah, we're going back to that? Oh, yeah, okay. Senator Rupp, we are going back to Senate Bill 1334.
Can I answer anything, or?
I don't know. Do we have,
Mr. Chairman?
Delegate Lemunion just sort of bring us back up to speed on where we are with this?
Sure, I'll restate the summary, and I believe there was a question from Delegate Bulova that I wasn't really in a position to answer.
Okay, I think that's why we reached out. Delegate Bulova.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I guess the question was, I noticed that there was two opposing votes in subcommittee, and I was reading through this trying to figure out why the opposition is. And I guess on the one hand, it could look like this is a brand new tool that you could go ahead and use to go ahead and remedy a situation. On the other hand, I was concerned and just wanted to make sure that we weren't somehow limiting the authority that the governor may already have by being more specific in the code. And so that was my concern or question, was ensuring that this was indeed a whole new tool and that we weren't cutting off options that might already be available to the governor by being more specific.
Mr. Chairman, I'd answer that in a couple of ways. First of all, I don't know why they moved it, but anyway, it's a good bill. It does not create anything new. It just simply says that if there is a subsection in the SWIM program, that it would limit the purchase, the low bid, you could only be 5% above that. Other than that, the small business would get the bid, not the micro business in this particular case.
Follow-up question, Mr. Chairman. Delegate Bulova. And I guess my concern is this wouldn't limit any other remedies that might be out there. This just provides one specific one with respect to how to correct a situation.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't trying to change the world or save the world. The reality is, though, that currently, under the micro business, as an example, there is a company, it's a SWIM certified business, that has been selling oil and air filters for heavy equipment to the state. He was informed 2 years ago that he couldn't sell it to the state anymore because it was going, that contract was going to go, that business was going to go to a micro business. So he lost that business to the state, but he now sells the exact same thing to the micro business that's down the street from him. He's selling it for the same markup that he sold it to the state to, and the micro business is marking it up 30%. So on a $1,000 bill, $300 of that is wasted taxpayer money. That is wrong. The micro business could mark it up 100% if you wanted to, because there is absolutely no oversight. And there are cases where people are going to big box stores and buying it and marking it up 300 or 400%.
Okay. Was the motion made previously? If not, would somebody make it?
Well, I'll make the motion that we report the bill. I can speak to that once it's seconded.
Delegate Lemunion. It's
No,
seconded.
No, I I think that the senator's example is excellent. I guess the question is, are we really sure, and I'm all in favor of doing that, in line 44, when we say the enhancement program does not exceed the low bid by more than 5%, we know that the low bid is the micro business low bid, not the other low bid.
Mr. Chairman, if the low bid is the low bid, whether it's from the micro or the small, then it's the low bid and that's who gets it. But we will give, we need to try to nourish small businesses some, but not at the excess expense of the taxpayer. So if the micro business has the low bid, then they get the bid.
Any other questions for the patron? Any other discussion? The motion is to report. Hearing no more discussion, please cast your vote. Sort of anticlimactic. Take it, right? Why don't you close the roll? Thank you, Senator.
All right, is that it?
I believe that's all you had. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Delegate Cosgrove, you had Senate Bill 1509, which was identical to a House Bill 2177, Delegate Hodges, which passed the House, I'm told, 91-6.
Correct, and also passed the Senate 40-0.
Well, that always scares us. So, what could you just remind us what it does real quick?
Sure, got you, sir. The bill exempts from the Administrative Process Act any rules adopted by the Charitable Gaming Board for the approval and conduct of game variations for the conduct of raffles, bingo, network bingo, and instant bingo games, provided that such variations result in games that are consistent with provisions of charitable gaming law and board regulations and such regulations that are published and posted.
Okay. Delegate Hodges, this was your bill previously. He moves to report. Is there a second? There's further discussion. You may want to check how you voted on House Bill 2177.
I can tell you.
Okay. No, I mean, who okay, I got you. So Wright and Bell voted no. Put that on the sheet. That's awesome that you do that. That's great. Okay. Please cast your vote. All right, close the roll. That bill reports. Thank you, Senator. I appreciate your patience.
Oh, not at all. It gives me a chance to stand in front of Maria. I'm going to miss it.
All right. Delegate Knight, you were going to handle Senator Ruff's Senate Bill 1075, identical to your House Bill 2148.
Yes, sir. On Senator Ruff's, there is down here, they wanted to conform to my bill. I would request that not happen. We had this bill being fleshed out. We got Senator Ruff's bill in the right fashion before mine. We passed Senator Ruff's bill on. So I would like for Ruff's bill not to conform to my bill, but to have it in his last posture before that.
So not to confuse things, it will conform it to the way yours is now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the motion is to report the bill as is. The noes were Ward, Bulova, Carr, Torian, McQuinn, Hester, and Aird on the floor, I believe. Any further discussion?
And we love you, Al.
Yeah. So the motion is to report. Please cast your vote. All right. Close the roll. That bill reports. The last bill, I think, is, I'll just say before we do the last bill, it seems like we did, although we waited here for a long time, I don't know that we would have gotten out of here much earlier because all we did was have a block vote when everybody showed up and we still had to do this drill with everybody, okay? So you probably could have gone and done something else, which is what I regret, but we handled our business and all is well, I think. So The last bill is Senate Bill 1324, Senator Carrico, which is identical to House Bill 2025. Delegate Freitas, the noes on the floor were Yost, Ward, Bulova, Carr, Torian, McQuinn, Hester, and Aird. This is the very scaled down religious freedom bill, the Senate version. Is there any further discussion? All right, is there a motion? Motion to report and a second. Please cast your vote. Close the roll. All right, that bill reports. Is there any further business before the committee? Mr. Clerk, Council. Thank you, everybody, for your hard work. I appreciate it, and we are adjourned.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's all.